Now starting from the basic foot position, we're going to knees. What you're trying to do with the knee strikes, there's different variations here. You're trying to get the hard bone part of your knee to enter the soft parts of your opponent's body. From this position, we're going to start with your base leg, your rear leg. Picking your knee just straight up. Without really moving your back. Keeping straight. Hands are in the same position you started with. Pick your right knee straight up the middle. Straight up the middle. Be sure that you don't flex the foot. Keep it relaxed. Pick the knee straight up the middle. Straight up the middle will be going straight up towards your face, towards your nose. Trying to get your knee up level so you can put a drink on it. Using your base leg, your rear leg, you're going to go right knee first. Picking the knee straight up, not to be confused with straight out. Out. If you lift your leg out, you're exposing the inner thigh muscle that you're going to be taking advantage of. Boom. You come straight in, you're moving forward on your target with bone. To incorporate power for the knee, you're going to try to use your hip flexors like you are with the punching, the kicking. The motion now we're going to be focusing on is thrusting your hips forward. Picking up your right knee, pick it straight up the middle and thrust your hips forward. To get full range of motion of your lower back, exhale. Extend your right arm out. This is going to give you balance. Right knee. Start slow. Stay relaxed. Pick the knee straight up. And then push your hips forward. You'll notice that your back, like a rocking chair, weighs back this way. Pushing your lower hips forward. Keeping the hands up. Extend the right arm out, palm first, towards your opponent. And you enter with the front knee. Starting with your right knee gives you a little bit more balance. We're going to go right knee. I extend the arm, the right arm. Protect my chin with my left. Knee. Applied to the bag, you're using the front of your knee with your foot pulled back and trying to enter the midsection or rib cage of your opponent. The middle of your heavy bag. Starting right knee, you're going to enter straight off. I exhale so I can get the extra push in there, get the air out. Exhale. Knee. Careful that you don't let your foot so loose that your toes hit at the same time. You got a lot of little bones in your foot. You could break a toe or hurt your foot. So make sure you pull your foot back. So now that you realize your knee's up, level, you can put a drink on there. It's to the midsection of your opponent. Now, as you pull that foot back, you notice your knee almost makes an arrow shape. You want that arrow to be driven into the bag with the push of your hips. So you're pushing your hips forward. You're not leaning back, you're pushing your hips forward. It almost appears that you're leaning back, which in a good sense takes your head out of the firing line of punches and elbows. But you want to make sure you block by using your lead hand across. That's the motion you're looking for. Exhale, push your hips forward. Use your back leg, right knee. Right knee into the midsection of the bag. Make sure that you bring the knee straight up the middle. So it's going straight in towards the target. If you come in this way from the outside, you're exposing muscle which can be separated and cause a Charlie horse. So enter in the middle. Make sure that you pull the foot back. It looks like your knee is pointing into an arrow. Keep the chin down and forward. If your head rolls back, you have weak neck muscles, which is going to cause you to dip back, putting a lot of strain on your lower back. Stay forward, keep your chin down. Starting at a basic foot position, right knee. The left knee. Same thing, we're going straight into the midsection, left knee. Just pick your knee up. I didn't move my upper body at all. I just picked my knee straight up. Pull that foot back slightly. Notice that it's pointing now. If you push your hips forward, that's the hip flexors. You're using, again, that forward push motion of your hips. What you're trying to do is enter the bag with your front knee, your lead knee now. So, pick up your knee, push, 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 push. On the bag, you can do the same. Lead, just pick it up, push. Building momentum for this, you can add a shuffle to it. You're trying to switch your hips to build momentum for your lead leg. A small shuffle over the feet will build momentum so you can power your lead leg. Driving the front part of your knee, the hard solid part, bone, into the soft midsection of your opponent. With a small shuffle over the feet, left lead knee. The shuffle. You're trying to drop your lead leg back about a small step and drive your back foot forward. Driving your hip and your knee into the midsection. Again, the feet. I'm going to try to drive my back foot forward. Pick up my front foot. Small hop, and I push the knee in to the midsection. If I was to start, I'm starting right knee, put my foot right down. Small little hop, like I'm going to run almost forward. Left knee. I drop back to the same foot position I started with. So, I've got A and B foot position. Start with the B leg, my back leg, knee. I'm trying to hit the center, midsection, with the front knee. Now I'm going to go left, or A. Small shuffle. I'm trying to move that back foot forward. And I go right back to the same foot position. So, front knees, you're walking them just like this. When you go to enter, push your hips forward. Be sure that you pull the foot back so that you're not hitting with the toes, like an arrow. The knees are entering. The knees are entering. We incorporated that small little switch step. All you're trying to do is focus on the motion of your hips. With the twist motion, you're starting to realize that everything's coming off the motion of your hips. With that small twist motion and the push of your hips, you're now going forward. Keep that in mind when entering the bag with your knee. Now, incorporating punches to the knee. To keep it simple, you can go basic. Jab, right knee. Jab, as you pull the punch back. Pick the right knee up. Extend it straight into the bag, pulling the foot back. Extend your right arm out so you're going to the shoulder of your opponent. Jab. Right knee. Again. Jab. As you pull the punch back, shoot the knee straight forward so that the hard bone part is going straight up the middle. Even if he was to do the same time you would, you'd go bone to bone if he was doing it properly. If he was doing it improperly, coming from the outside, your bone would hit the inside of his thigh. Therefore, you're inflicting more pain than he is. So make sure the key in the knee here is you know where your center is at. In the middle. Your chin must be above your belly button, right in the center. Standing. Knee up, knee up, knee up. We're moving forward. Key here. Step. Knees. Those are front knees. You can go off right cross, left knee. Using the small switch step I used. Right cross, small switch step. My right hip is in. Small switch. Left knee. right cross, left knee, jab, right knee. You can throw in any one of the 4 punches that we did. The hooks, the uppercuts, the cross, the jab. You can incorporate any of those, even off an elbow, to a knee. These are good due to the fact that you're close quarter fighting. So, in position from an elbow, you can go straight to knee. Using those small angles we did from the first series, you're using the foot position, dimensions. So you're no longer one-dimensional. One-dimensional will be moving forward on the bag, forward and backward. As you move side to side, laterally, you can tend to confuse the opponent. So you're no longer standing toe-to-toe. You're moving. You're using less energy. The key here is conserving your energy. That's the basic front knee, Muay Thai style. Now, utilizing the basic knee, we've changed bags. We've gone from a leg kicking banana bag to a knee bag. This bag's a half bag, and basically you'll be able to clinch this bag now. The top of the bag is closer to you, and the chains are in. This bag, you can kick it and go straight to the knee. You can just knee it. You can clinch it and work. We're going to go, we just did the straight knee. Picking your knee straight up the middle and going in. You're getting the power from the push of your hips forward. This line of tape is symbolizing the midsection of an opponent. Here I'm going to start with my right straight knee. I exhale, I keep my chin down. I'm keeping my hands out in front with not my elbows flared open, but in still and forward. I'm trying to drive my knee into that midsection. Now notice my foot position. That's not foot position because I turned open now. Almost like I've turned to a side. My foot is open in the half open position. My left hand is this way and my eyes are still looking forward on the opponent. I've almost turned sideways. Almost like a side knee. It's still coming straight up the front. Boom, and I turn. Turning sideways helps me ensure that I'm getting longer length on the hip and more bone. More of the knee and less of the shin. And making sure that I come straight and up the middle. Boom. That foot automatically turns to the open pivot position. Half open. I'm hitting the middle with my right knee. Keep the chin down. Right knee. I pivot my left foot and stick the right knee in there. Starting basic from the very, very basic. Start slow. You can start on your bag in this position. Just pick your knee up, put it on there. Look at your foot now. Look at your hand. Your hand should be on the bag. Palm open, extend it out. Shoulders protecting your chin. Now from there you want to get power. Pivot your foot and push. It's a small motion, but once it goes fluid through one knee, it gets harder. Now you're using that, as we did in the first series, side to side stepping motion. You're using dimension, lateral movement. Now, you can go right knee to left knee. What you're trying to do is you're trying to work your hips. The front knees, you're using the front and back swinging motion. You can go in straight right knee. You can put your foot down. Now you've switched your foot position, but you have loaded your left knee. So now just drop back. Left knee, you're back to the same foot position. Right knee, left knee. I'm controlling the bag though. I know where the bag's at all times with my hands. So due to the fact that if I'm not using my hands, they're kind of no good for me. I'm keeping them right here, so I'm keeping the bag at bay. Right knee, left knee, front knee. I'm using the kickback of my hips as I'm pushing my butt back. Boom. Back, forward. Right knee, left knee. Once you work the knee into the clinch position. Clinch position. My head is down in the center, my elbows are in. I've now essentially grabbed my opponent or the bag by the top. Key here, keeping your cool, relaxing, and keeping your elbows in. If your elbows flare up, your opponent can grab your head and twist you from side to side, throwing you off balance. Keep your head down and elbows in, sunk tight. Since you're going to probably be wearing gloves, you can't really grab and lock onto your hands. What you can do is apply pressure onto the top hand, put your elbows together, keeping your head down in the middle, not to one side, because that disadvantages you. Breathe through your nose. So we've entered with the front knee. I've gone to the clinch now. My elbows are in. Notice I'm grabbing the top like I have the top of somebody's head. My head's down. I still have the same foot position I started from. The A and B. Left leg in front, right leg in back. I can throw continuously front knees. All I'm going to try to do is drop my hips back and my back like I'm sticking my butt out. Bend the knee and pull it straight up. So you're coming in a motion like this. Notice the knees coming up on an angle. I'm utilizing my tricep strength to forward pull. Proper way to do it would be to give it a little push forward and use its own momentum of the bag or your opponent to moving backwards towards you. So push, knee. So the bag, I pushed it just slightly, so it's got a little rock to it now. It comes forward. As it comes back, I'm using the own momentum of it to stick my knee, boom, in. So I stick my butt back, and then I launch my knee up the middle. I'm still controlling the bag. I'm still holding on to it. My elbows are in. My elbows aren't out, they're in. As much as I can get them in, my head's down still. And I exhale as I let the knee go. So, push, knee. If you want to go left, you got to do that little shuffle step. Push, knee. I like the little shuffle because it gives you that added momentum and speed. Lead with speed, follow with power. The right is strong. Notice the power is coming from my hips doing this. I keep my head forward. If my head was up, I'd be easily drawn to one side. Since my head's down, it's harder to grab my neck. Considering that when you're doing this with an opponent, they're trying to grab your head. So, we've gone the front knee now from the clinch. We started front knee, just using it as a weapon from standing in your base. To the clinch. You're now in the clinch and you're using front knee to hit the midsection. As you grab the top of the bag or your opponent's head, you're trying to pull them to the knee. Notice my hips. I stick my butt back. I pull the knee in. Like an arrow, it's entering the bag. My chin's still protected by my shoulders. Working from this position, we can now pull the bag. Side knees. Side knees. You're still emphasizing the midsection, rib cage now. No longer are you trying to pull the opponent forward. You're trying to jerk him from side to side. Keeping the hand position still in, elbows in tight. You work from this position. Try to drop your foot out to one side. As you shift your hips from side to side, you begin to feel momentum. As you were throwing the punches from left to right, or throwing kicks from right to left, you build momentum. Your body's twisting like a little machine. Now you're shifting your hips. Like a hula dancer, you're shifting side to side. Shift, drop your foot. If you're going to the left, you're going to do a left knee. Shift your hips to the left. Drop your right foot to the middle. Foot position. You're going to shift your hips to the left. You're trying to do a left knee. Shift your hips to the left. Drop your right foot to the middle. Middle will be here. Pick your knee up. If you're trying to hit your opponent, midsection, the side of his rib cages, with the inside of your knee. no longer using the front bony part, using the inside. It's still a bone, it's still hard. You must be careful though. When doing this, don't turn your knee down. If you turn your knee down, you're going to hit the top part of your knee. It's kind of sore, and you could pull the kneecap off. Keep your knee level. Just think you can keep a drink on your knee the whole time. Like this. Opening and closing a door. Now incorporating that middle. You must know where your middle is at all times. Going back to series 1 with the base, chin is over the belly button. You're going to drop. You're going to go left knee first from the clinch. Drop your foot to the left. So you're going to move your right foot to the middle of your base. Pick the knee up. Now it's level. I can put a drink on it. Just turn it in. Just like that. Put it down. Boom. So you've added a step to build momentum for your hips. You're in close. Just think, side to side, you're relaxed. Your head's down in the center. Knee. Again, I exhale when I let my knees go. Drop. Knee. Now, you can do that with left or right. If you're going to go right, drop your left foot to the middle. Just middle. Remember, if you have foot position A and B, you're now incorporating foot position C. C is the middle of your feet. Put your left foot on C, which is the middle. Pick up your right knee. So if you're going right knee, move your left foot first to the middle. Pick up your right knee, and it goes in. So you're going just like this. Drop, pick it up, in. Drop, pick it up, in. You're going to turn your hips like this and move the feet. 1, 2, boom, 3. This is right side knee from the clinch. You move the hips, get momentum. Move the foot, boom. Shift, drop, knee. Now what I'm doing with my hands is I'm resting on the bag, my body weight. I'm resting my body weight on the bag, and I'm also pulling. If I go right knee, I'm going to pull the bag to the right. Here, it's easier to turn the bag from side to side. Time it as you would your opponent. Give them a nudge to the left and then jerk them to the right. Vice versa. Nudge them to the right, jerk them to the left. So that they pull back the opposite direction. They're using their own body weight to go back into their own move. So, if I'm going to go left knee, give them a nudge to the right, and then pull. Back. 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 Again, you're attacking the midsection, rib cage of your opponent, or the bag. Notice this bag has the midsection already taped off. You're using your knee still, but a different part, the inside. It's still hard, as long as you flex your foot. Boom, pull it down. So we've gone from the front knee to the clinch. We've used the motion of your hips to go side knee in the little step. We also incorporated the pull. If you want to go left, go the opposite direction and then pull back hard. Remember, don't let your foot get in the way, and it's coming from your hips. You're either going side to side or going forward and back. As long as you stay relaxed in the clinch, you'll have nothing really to worry about as long as you keep your base solid. Keep your head down so it doesn't get popped out. And just relax. That's the basic knee, Muay Thai style. Now incorporating a partner with Thai pads, we're going to use the front knee. Using my base leg, I'm going to try to use my knee to enter the Thai pads in the midsection. So Tony's holding the Thai pads where the midsection of an opponent would be. Basically what I'm going to try to do is keep my head in the center off my basic foot position. Using my base leg, I'm going to pick up my knee forward. Drive my knee to the midsection of the Thai pads or my opponent. Now there's a gap here between me and my opponent. What I'm trying to do is make sure that my knee goes forward into my opponent, my head stays forward. What I'm doing is I'm extending my right arm as I pick my right knee up. and I drive that arm out, palm first, covering my chin with my left forearm. I'm trying to get my knee stable up and straight in. The easiest way to explain this, when you enter and you're covering a gap and you want to enter with your knee, make sure that your chin is down so your face isn't exposed, and you're leading straight in. Straight in being where your face, your nose is, where your belly button is, where your chin should be. If you pick your knee up from the outside and your opponent rushes you, you're going to cause your own mistakes. Make sure your knee comes straight in. That way it's more reach. And it's a lot harder going straight in. Now if you happen to go bone to bone, if he's doing the same thing you're doing, it's whoever was faster is going to get the pain. So that's a front right knee. You can use the little switch step and use your lead knee also. Entering with the lead knee. I'm just folding back my foot so that my knee is going into an arrow position. My leg is flat, like I could put a drink on it without it sliding off. And I'm just going to drive with the push forward motion of my hips into the midsection or the thigh pads. Keeping the elbows in so I can reach for my opponent's head if I have to. Or parry punches if he was punching at me or elbowing at me, blocking them as I enter. So if my opponent's lead hand was out here, I could parry it with my lead hand and shoot a knee. I could suck his arm in, going pretty quick, and enter the midsection with my knee. Again, you're trying to get your knee, the hard bone part, the solid part, the part that should be bent, the part that looks like an arrow, into the soft regions of the midsection. It'd be rib cage or front or sternum. If your opponent's head is down and you catch him in the face, then that's just a shorter fight for you. So, from the vase position, right front knee. Key on the knees, you want to keep your stability. If you shoot a knee, don't put your foot forward when you're done. Make sure you're starting from the A and B foot position. A and B. Keep A and B. So if you use your back leg, the B leg, to knee, put it right back on B. The less steps, the better. Keeping your chin down your way forward, keep your eyes on your opponent at all time. Right knee, you can switch and do the left knee. Key here, you're trying to get your hips to go forward. I'm using my lower back to drop and push. From this position where my arm is fully extended, my left arm, I know exactly, as soon as I can touch my opponent, I can knee him. That's knowing your range. Now you can go into hand combination to knee. You can go into leg kick to knee, body kick to knee. From there you have a full array of your arsenal. Now we're going to go without the thigh pads, just walking down into the clinch, just trying to grab your partner's head. From the clinch position, you're going to be wearing gloves. So what you want to do is you want to keep your elbows in, your chin down. You'll see a lot of guys that come out in the clinch ready to do knees like this. If your arms are open, you're giving away a lot of your body right now. Keep them in tight, just like you still have the boxing position. Keeping your head straight, looking forward on your partner. You're just trying to grab the back of your partner's head. You're not trying to go for the back of his neck. You're trying to go for the back of his head. You're trying to control his head so he pulls his head down. Using the base that we did from Series 1, you're going to use that base to help you move your partner and go into the clinch using knees. So with my partner Tony, we go into the clinch. Now we're into the clinch. I can use the front knees like we just did. Notice my foot is back. My knee looks like it's in an arrow position, and I'm entered into the midsection of Tony using my back leg. A reminder that I'm right-handed and Tony is left-handed, so it may look awkward to you, but I'm just showing you that from this position it's the same base. If I use my lead knee on Tony, I do that small hop step, Again, either side, the front knee is looking the same. The momentum here and the motion is this, like a rocking chair. Now, if he's tired already, or if he has a weak neck, I can pull him into that using his own momentum to meet mine, making for a shorter fight. If he has a strong lower back and a strong neck, and he moves right, we're going to be stuck in this position, a stalemate. Now, I can use side knees from this position, trying to close the gap here, because if there's too big of a gap between my opponent and I, we can go all day with each other, doing knees. And it goes to a battle of who's got better abs. From here, I'm just staying relaxed with my elbows tucked in, trying to work the top of my opponent's head to pull him forward. I can go right knee to the midsection, put my foot back, and then raise my right knee up using the inside and go to the midsection of my opponent. It's just coming straight up and using the inside. Again, I still pull my foot back and using my hip flexors to turn. My head is still down, my chin is protected by my shoulders. Now what I'm doing is I'm giving my little opponent a nudge to the left. To counter that movement, he goes back the opposite direction. So I nudge him to the left. To counter that, he moves back to his right. As he moves back to the right, I jerk to the right as hard as I can and I knee, same time. He goes into my knee. Now we started a game of pushing and pulling. It's a matter of now, going back to Series 1, who has a better base position in their foot. If you're crossing your legs up, or if you keep switching back and forth, it throws your base off. So make sure that you have a good solid base and you're relaxed, keeping your head down, your elbows in, and working straight forward. When moving backwards on any movement, it's hard to keep your balance. And most of your weight should be on your base leg as it is, so you don't want to be moving backwards. Moving angles. So from that knee, we've gone into the front knee. Off base or lead. Worked into the clinch from the side knee. Again, all the motion is your hips. You're trying to open your hips up. Like we did on the red bag. From the clinch, my head was down. I raised my knee and turn my knee in. This black line representing the midsection of an opponent. Now remember, you're not just hanging on with your hands. You're relaxed with your hands resting up here. Again, I push to the left, and then I pull to the right and give a right knee. And stay relaxed. As I knee, I exhale. Trying to drive the bone part into soft area. On the side knee, you're using the side of your knee. Make sure that when you let it go, you're still entering straight in. And then you turn. If you come onto your opponent going this way, you're exposing soft tissue area, which can bruise, giving you a dead leg on the inside of your leg. Therefore, not a very good idea. So, with the opponent, or with Tony again, we can go straight into the clinch. Now we're trying to work hand position. I'm trying to grab the top of his head. If he's trying to do the same thing, we're weaving each other's arms in and out. The best hand position is what Tony has on me right now. He has it inside. His elbows are squeezed tight, and he's got the top of my head with both of his palms. From here, it's a matter of him wheeling me whichever way. He can use the front knees. He could use the side knees. I'm in a bad spot now. What I need to do is grab either his hips and push my hips in, therefore closing the gap on us so that he cannot hit me anymore and keeping my head down. Or try to come up through here, break open his, and go. Breaking open his arm position. From here, if he's got me in that tight with his elbow squeezed, I'm going to pull with my right arm down, weaving my left hand underneath I put hand on top of hand. This way. Using my left elbow, I'm going to pry up his elbow and shoot my right hand underneath. Breaking open his elbows and then therefore going to town with the knee. Too much of a gap between you and your partner leads to too much momentum being used in here. If you can do this, so can he. So you want to use those angles now. If he's got me in the clinch and it's tight and I'm trying to break it open, I can step to one side or step to the other side. Therefore pulling each other off weight. If I have no balance, it's hard for me to try to get anything off being offensively. I straight go to defense, trying to grab hips, trying to push my hips in. So that move again, if he's got me in the full locked up with his elbows pinched in, grab with my right arm, pull down, come underneath with my left, my lead on top of the hand, push my elbow up, pushing his elbow up. Using my right arm, grab the back of his head again, and we start all over. Trying to use angles, trying to pull each other off balance, and then shoot the knee. So if I push him to the left with my arms, and he wants to come back to the right, I use my right knee. Push to the left, boom, go to the right. The key here is swinging your hips out. Opening your hips to let them do the work and staying relaxed. The little sneaky tricks are the movement. Key here, you're still keeping your elbows in, you're keeping your feet flat, and you have to stay more relaxed now. You're using more muscles, you're using bigger muscles now, so you want to stay relaxed. That's basically the knee from the clinch with a partner, Muay Thai style.